with the Institute for Policy Studies and a Middle East expert, and joins us live from Washington, D.C. Phyllis, always good to have you with us. What do you make, then, of these Israeli strikes on the southern suburbs of Beirut? How significant are they? Because Israel continues to clearly ignore the terms of the ceasefire with Hezbollah.
We don't know a lot of detail yet about what happened with this strike. How many casualties? Were they children? Who were they? What we do know is that this seems to be a continuation of the strikes that Israel had carried out on Friday, that they had been threatening, and then carried out a strike, 4 strikes actually, that day in the Hadath neighborhood of Beirut. They issued a specific threat to a school, the Lycée des Arts, and then attacked the school just moments after issuing a threat and saying people should leave the area, but without giving time for people to leave. Again, we don't have numbers of casualties there either. That was a kindergarten level school all the way up through 12th grade. And Netanyahu had said that they will attack everywhere in Lebanon. So the attacks today, the attacks on Monday, seem to perhaps be a continuation of those attacks. Again, saying that this is somehow linked to Hezbollah, but without providing any evidence that there were Hezbollah fighters, that there were Hezbollah equipment, that there was a military target anywhere near there. President Macron in France condemned the attack, condemned the Israeli attack, said it was unacceptable. Of course, the United States and France are supposed to be the guarantors of this ceasefire that was signed off between Israel and Hezbollah in November. Yeah. But what we're actually seeing is a U.S. green light for Israel to continue. Yeah,
we're just getting updates here, Phyllis, that the Lebanese Minister of Health saying 3 people killed, 4 wounded in this latest strike. That point you raised about the guarantors for the ceasefire, I mean, I want to ask you, how does the new Trump administration play into Israel's calculations as it continues to attack targets in Lebanon? Does it feel emboldened because Trump gives them cover to do so, as you've just suggested?
I think there's no question that the Trump administration has made very clear that they will not criticize Israel, they will not prevent it, they will not stop sending the weapons that enable it to continue these attacks. And what we're seeing now is really an extension of the war that Israel has been waging, this genocidal war in Gaza, has been extended to Lebanon, where they have now, they're not only carrying out the attacks in the capital, but they have expanded the former UN buffer zone. 5 separate areas of it, Israel has simply announced, we're going to keep those. We want to stay there because we think our security requires it, and no one is stopping them. The same in Syria. Right after the Syrian regime of Assad was overthrown, the first action Israel took was massive attacks on virtually all of the Syrian Navy, and then a host of military targets around the country, destroying essentially the entire military capacity of the entire country. And again, taking territory near the Golan Heights, but extending its occupied area of the Golan to a further area as well. In the West Bank, Israel is carrying out a major escalation, particularly in the north, and again, using the language of annexation to say that particularly in the areas around Jenin, the refugee camp of Jenin, where now 140,000 people have been displaced in Gaza, and at least 50,000 have been displaced in the West Bank. And in the West Bank, they are talking now about annexing that territory. So the question of expanding Israel's control of territory in Syria, in Lebanon, in the West Bank, this is very much what's at the centerpiece of its expansionism right now. And the U.S. administration under Trump is allowing it to go forward. Yeah, Phyllis, just a final thought to you. Bigger picture, what do these ongoing Israeli attacks mean then for the ceasefire with Hezbollah? Could we see Israel unilaterally collapse the ceasefire like it did in Gaza? It seems they have unilaterally collapsed the ceasefire. We don't know what response there will be militarily or in terms of diplomacy from Hezbollah. We haven't heard that yet. But there's no question that Israel is simply feeling that they have no one to stop them from this kind of military response when the ceasefire is supposed to be in effect. The U.S. and France have agreed to be the guarantors of it, and they are simply standing back. France saying, well, we condemn it, the U.S. saying nothing, but neither of them doing anything to stop this Israeli assault. All right, Phyllis Bennis, always good to get your thoughts and your analysis, Phyllis. Many thanks for your time. Thank you. Thank you.